Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships. And today we have another user replay. This is from another good friend of mine, also one of my original clanmates, Murakamo. He's been on my channel before. Yeah, I had a few backup videos just in case I didn't have the time to fully record everything, and well, lo and behold, here it is. He is currently taking out the Tier 6 premium IGN battleship, the Mutsu. One of the few, actually, the only IGN battleship that has torpedoes, and one of the few battleships that has torpedoes available to it. Honestly, the Mutsu, as you probably can guess, it's essentially a tier 6 Nagato. For whatever reason, Wargaming was really into the whole idea of taking the stock hull of a ship and just making it a tier below for the IGN line. They did that a lot and don't really know why. So fortunately, he is top tier. It's a tier 5 and 6 battle. Not that bad. Mutsu has the major benefit of being a Nagato at tier 6, so it's very powerful. It has very large guns. Guns are fairly accurate, except for its armor scheme kinda fails it. Nagato has far better armor, especially around the front of the citadel, where the bow is. Nagato has additional armor that prevents it from being citadeled while being somewhat bow on. Mutsu doesn't have that. The other major difference is the fact, as I mentioned, it does have torpedoes. The torpedoes are 7 kilometers, which is really fun, and they reload very quickly. The only major downside is they do require almost a complete broadside just to get all torpedoes off, or to even shoot them off. It does look like Murakamo does get a citadel on the Alba, and it looks like the friendly team actually just lost their Marblehead within the first 3 minutes of the battle. So yeah, not particularly great. That's for sure. Now they are playing standard battle, which does mean well, there's almost no real point to push too heavily into their cap, even though the enemy team is, well, looks like they are starting to push towards their friendly cap. Looks like there's a slight misjudgment on the speed of the Congo, but still nets a 10,000 points of damage on that Congo. So that Congo is definitely hurting. The Congo did eat some torps, which did slow it up, which in turn did throw off the aim of Murakamo there. Now Murakamo, he plays a lot of battleships. He's very good at battleships. So I trust his ability whenever playing with him. Shoots off another salvo, getting a decent amount, 5,000, not too bad. No citadel though. Now it does look like it's actually a good time to actually start pushing. Once again, the enemy team is really pushing quite heavily towards the friendly team, which is, I guess, or towards the friendly cap, which I guess isn't the worst idea, but obviously does mean that you leave your own cap wide open. So generally, whenever you play this mode, you generally want to essentially take out one side and then focus the other before start pushing into a cap. And things aren't looking so hot for Murakamo's team. They are already down 3 ships. Well, yeah, down 2 ships now. So things aren't going so hot. Now the major downside of the Mutsu, besides obviously the armor scheme, is the lack of AA. The Mutsu has very little AA. So when dealing with CVs, right there, that's the issue. It has just horrible armor. This Marblehead, this is obvious. Obvious what he's attempting to do. Torpedoes are inbound towards Murakamo. So he's a little bit limited on what he can actually do right now. So he is gonna, looks like he's actually gonna turn. Really? Did that Marblehead not drop torpedoes? Oh no, there they are. They're just really, really slow. Good Lord, I don't know what that Marblehead was planning on doing, but surprisingly, Murakamo did not actually get the kill. The friendly Bayern actually did, which is kind of amusing. Now, as I was saying, the AA is terrible, absolutely terrible in this ship. So when dealing with CVs, yeah, you want to stay close to friendlies. And the enemy team is, I mean, they're honestly doing a really good job. His team's down 5 ships to their 3. But essentially is allowing Murakamo to push directly into their cap. Look at that. Look at that dodge. Slowing up to dodge that salvo from the QE. That is really good play. As a battleship, especially low tiers are very susceptible to the mentality of just pushing W to full speed and go in one direction. If you juke like Murakamo you did there, you can really throw off people's aim and prevent any damage. Wow, QE's getting some decent hits. No Citadels, fortunately. And a ram with the Texas and the New Mexico. Wow. And it does look like the QE's actually responding, which is kind of amusing. He's actually starting to pull in. And honestly, these torpedoes, once again, they're fun. It's not very often that you get to use them. What I think is probably the best part about it is any destroyers that try to rush you that don't know Mutsus have 2 torpedoes gets a kind of a nasty surprise. And like I said, they reload very quickly. They actually reload far faster than your main guns. So yeah, you can essentially get, I think, almost 2 to 3 salvos off before the first salvo of torpedoes actually drop off. So they work really well. Oh my gosh, really focusing on the torpedoes. I mean, not a bad idea. They don't hit particularly hard. But like I said, they reload pretty quickly. Did 10,000 on that first salvo. Got flooding. So fortunately for Murakamo there, he's gonna get broadside and ooh, got another torpedo hit. Is causing a fire. This QE is going to go down. And ooh, he actually lost one of his torpedoes. And that's the other issue about the Mutsu. And look at this. Look at this. He's pushing in against this Koenig with a Königsberg behind him. And the Arizona. So things are a little dicey, but once again, fortunately the Mutsu does have torpedoes, so it does have the ability to do that extra damage. But as you can see, or saw, the torpedoes tend to get knocked out relatively easy. They're very easy to get knocked out. So you can't always super rely on them, but they're still really fun. But what he's doing right now, granted, it's extremely dangerous because he has to show so much broadside just to get those torpedoes off. That's almost not really worth it, but he does earn high caliber, does take out the enemy Bayern, and is on fire. I'm actually very curious if he's going to survive this. He's already at 154,000 points of damage. Which is really good for a tier 6 battleship. So doing a really good job there. Can he survive for the next 2 seconds and get his heal off? Ooh, gets a Citadel, gets the heal off at 890 points of health, and earns Confederate. Showing off there. Managed to survive. Fortunately, that Arizona not paying attention to Murakami at all. Had that Arizona actually been focusing on him, probably would have meant Murakami's death. And right now, it is fairly close. Because, well, as you can see, each team has 4 ships. It does look like the friendly team has 1 additional battleship compared to them. And honestly, what I would be doing right now is focusing on taking the cap salvo off on the enemy Arizona. Fortunately, once again, Murakami was very low in health. He does have to be careful. That Arizona can do quite a bit of damage, even if somewhat angled. And honestly, if I was Murakami, I'd probably just be pushing to the cap and start capping. Because there's no way that any of their ships are going to be able to get back in time to actually cap. But it does look like Murakami is taking the offensive and focusing on the enemy battleships. Does get a somewhat decent hit on the Arizona. Does look like their team is also at least somewhat defending. Unfortunately, it does look like they have a Nuremberg that is sitting a little bit of distance away. Don't know particularly why. He's actually fairly healthy. Ooh, just lost their Bayern. Things are definitely very much tense. Once again, focusing on this Arizona, not a bad choice per se, and Arizona actually shoots a salvo of HE, probably because he was hoping to shoot at the Fubuki. That's probably why. But fortunately for their team, the Fubuki is actually doing a really fantastic job taking out the enemy Montisoli. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I really should look up the pronunciation of these new Italian cruisers. Turning bow in, does manage to dodge. However, splash damage does cause his rudder to go out, which is not a very common thing for battleships. And they have just lost their Fubuki. Nuremberg is sitting at long range, just pummeling with HE. But now that the Fubuki is no longer there, well, honestly, no one's going to be able to spot. And here's kind of the thing that I think Murakami should have done, is he should have capped. He was actually very close to the cap point at that time. Would have been fine. Could have got behind islands and kept undetected and capped out. But, well, if he did that, that more than likely probably would not be showing this video, because he is at 193,000 points of damage and things are not quite over yet. Does get detected by the enemy Arizona, and does, ooh, see, yeah, right there, the armor on the Mutsu is not particularly amazing. Furutaka is going to go out of the cap, and does look like the Furutaka had quite a bit of health points. Does look like Murakami is trying to get the Nuremberg to go cap. Honestly, the Nuremberg wouldn't make it in time. Truth be told, he would probably barely get halfway. Pushing in, Kamikaze obviously is waiting. Torpedoes are more than likely going to be coming his way. Is going to at least get a salvo off on that Kamikaze. And this is a very dangerous position. Does look like he is going to dodge it. Yes, he is. He's actually going to be able to dodge it. Oh my word. He has no more heals. His damage control is off. And Furutaka takes an overpen. I honestly don't know if he is going to get back from this. No, he's not. And unfortunately, even though he did 208,000 points of damage, 923 does get the kamikaze, which does mean that 212,387 points of damage is the last bit. All that's left is the Nuremberg, and things are still a little dicey because, well, even though Murakamo did significant amount of damage, killed quite a few people, they're still gonna lose unless the Nuremberg is able to kill something. And here's the thing, like I said, honestly, the fact that Murakamo didn't cap, no offense to him, he should have capped. Truth be told, that would have made the most amount of sense because this happened. So unfortunately, it is a loss, but it was still a really good battle. Did really good damage in the battle, but that is going to be it for this replay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.